Kelsey McCarson here for the Boxing Channel. Got Bart Berry from 15rounds.com. We're here at the weigh-in for Chavez-Vera 2. Bart, there were no weigh-in shenanigans this time. Both fighters made weight. The first fight, Chavez landed less shots, but they were more powerful. He got the decision, but it wasn't definitive. What does Chavez have to do this time to get a definitive win?
I think what you'll see Chavez doing, this is where he's most effective. I think you'll see him body him with the left shoulder and bring the right hand over it. And if he can do that to Vera, Brian Vera doesn't have much defense. He drops the right hand repetitively. If Chavez starts to land, I think it's a very easy fight for Chavez.
Now, what about Brian Vera? Vera in the first fight showed a lot more than he had in previous fights. He used fast feet to get around Chavez's punches. He was able to land punches in volume. He outlanded and outthrew Chavez. What can he do, if anything, better this time to take home the victory?
I think you gotta stay on Julio. You got to make sure that he's actually in as good a shape as he says he is. He made weight. You know, they did a nice job with the avoided check. But is he really in as that good a shape, or did he just kind of haul himself out? We don't know. The only way you're going to find out is by getting on his chest. But if Julio's in shape and you get on his chest, you're going to get beat up. And that's something I think they have to worry about.
Bart, big featherweight battle Saturday between Orlando Salido and Salido-Lomachenko. It was supposed to be for Salido's WBO featherweight title. He lost it on the scales, but it's still out there for Lomachenko. What do you think about this fight?
I think that Salido would not have been asked to do this fight, and Lomachenko wouldn't have been given this fight if Salido had much of a chance. And I think that whatever chance Salido had is going to be lost if he even tries to make weight, and I'm not sure he's going to. He's 2.5 pounds off. He sweats it. He goes in the sauna. He looks strong. I don't think he's got an extra 5 ounces, so I don't give him much chance. I think Lomachenko wouldn't have been in this fight this early if Salido had a chance.
Is Lomachenko just that good?
I think he is, but I think that Salido is kind of a spent bullet too.
Right. So Salido, obviously he's an offensive fighter. His only chance in the fight really would be land punches from different angles that maybe Lomachenko's not used to. What does Lomachenko need to be wary of, if anything?
I think fatigue. I think that there's nothing that prepares you for 36 minutes with a Salido. And if Salido can stay there and hang in there and keep coming like we saw with Mikey Garcia, you just don't know. You're going to have maybe bump heads, your shoulder hits a knee or an elbow or a nose. You just don't know. And I think if your Salido get to the 8th or 9th rounds, Lomachenko, sparring, as you know, sparring and fighting are two different worlds. And Lomachenko's never been in that 30-minute mark, 33-minute mark with a guy like Salido who has been there and expects to be there. So if you're Salido, try to get it into the championship rounds. I can't imagine he does.
Well, I think I know from your answers, but I'll go ahead and ask you, what are your predictions for tomorrow night in both of our featured fights?
So I'll take Lomachenko by fairly early stoppage, probably mid-rounds. The Chavez fight, and I'll go ahead and say this, I worry about the Chavez fight. I think that Brian Vera is a very proud fighter and a very stubborn fighter with a great chin. I don't think he's nearly big enough. I don't think he's nearly good enough. I think Chavez is motivated, and I think Chavez will win by a late stoppage, but a late stoppage that we all leave the arena wishing it happened 2 or 3 rounds earlier.
Is it that you feel like Vera is really a middleweight and only can go as high as a middleweight, and Chavez, I mean, how big is Chavez? Chavez looked ripped today. He made weight, 168. But isn't he a guy that looks like he could go even bigger than that?
Oh, much bigger. I mean, I think Chavez, his body goes to 200 pounds, even when he's got the break. Unless he's riding the break, it goes to 200 pounds. I mean, he's a really big guy, broad shoulders, and I think he's going to start bodying Vera because he didn't do that in the first fight. He threw those pot shot left hooks, and if he starts bodying Vera and bringing that right hand behind it, it could be a really savage beating.
All right, we'll have to see on Saturday night. This is Kelsey McCarson, and this is Bart Berry. This is the Boxing Channel.